Welcome to Golden Rule Wisdom. Today we will explore a deeply profound story about the delicate balance of giving and personal care. In a beautiful, quiet village surrounded by lush green mountains, there lived a gentle man named Arif with a pure heart. Arif was known by everyone as the very heart of the village, always ready to lend a helping hand to anyone. If a neighbor lost their wandering cow, Arif would spend his entire afternoon searching the dense forest until he found it. When heavy rain damaged the old roofs of the village houses, Arif was the first to climb up and fix them. He would even share his meager portions of warm food with hungry travelers, completely ignoring his own empty, rumbling stomach. Daily, people smiled and praised him constantly, and calling him a living saint who brought endless joy and comfort to their simple lives. However, behind that warm and giving smile, nobody knew that Arif was secretly carrying a heavy burden of exhaustion and loneliness. He gave away all his energy to others, leaving absolutely nothing for his own neglected soul at the end of the day. His own small wooden house was slowly falling apart, with a leaking roof and a cold, empty fireplace during chilly nights. Yet he never complained or asked for any help, believing that a good person must always put others before their own needs. One fateful evening, a massive storm hit the peaceful village, causing a heavy cow to fall into a deep, dark, muddy pit. The desperate family cried out for help, and Arif immediately rushed into the pouring rain without a single second of hesitation. For hours, he pulled heavy ropes and dug through thick mud, straining every single muscle in his tired and shivering body. Finally, with one last massive effort, they pulled the frightened cow to safety. But Arif suddenly felt his vision turning completely black. He collapsed onto the cold, wet ground, his body totally drained of all strength after years of endless, selfless sacrifice for others. The villagers carried the unconscious man back to his dark, drafty house and laid him on his thin, uncomfortable wooden bed. The next morning, Arif woke up with a terrible fever, unable to even lift his heavy head or fetch fresh drinking water. He lay there in complete silence, waiting patiently for someone to knock on his door and offer a small bowl of soup. Hours turned into a full day, and then 2 entire days passed, but not a single villager came to check on him. Everyone simply assumed that the energetic Arif was already out in the neighboring town, happily helping someone else with their daily chores. Staring at the empty ceiling, a sharp pain pierced his chest, and much worse than the physical fever burning through his weak body. Tears rolled down his pale cheeks as he whispered softly to the empty room, feeling completely abandoned by the entire busy village. I gave my entire heart to everyone around me, but absolutely no one is here when I desperately need them the most. The painful realization hit him like a heavy stone, making him question the true meaning of his endless kindness and constant sacrifice. On the 3rd morning, an old traveling Zen Master happened to walk past the silent house and noticed the unkept front yard. Sensing something was terribly wrong, the wise master gently pushed open the creaky wooden door and stepped into the dark, cold room. He immediately saw the shivering man and quickly boiled some fresh water, preparing a warm herbal tea to soothe his terrible fever. As Arif slowly drank the healing tea, he poured out his broken heart to the kind stranger sitting quietly by his bed. He explained how he had sacrificed everything for the village, only to be left entirely alone during his darkest hour of need. The Zen Master listened with deep compassion, his calm eyes reflecting the gentle wisdom of a man who truly understood human suffering. When Arif finally finished speaking, the old master smiled softly and placed a warm, comforting hand on his very tired, trembling shoulder. "My dear friend, you cannot possibly light another dark path if your own internal flame has completely burned out and finally died. You simply cannot pour refreshing water for thirsty travelers if your own spiritual cup is cracked and completely empty inside today. True kindness must always begin within yourself, because a neglected soul cannot sustain the heavy burden of carrying others for very long. You have treated everyone else like a precious treasure while treating your own beautiful life like something entirely worthless and completely disposable. Arif closed his tired eyes, letting those profound words sink deeply into his mind, washing away years of hidden guilt and confusion. For the very first time in his entire life, he finally understood that loving himself was never a selfish act of greed. It was the essential foundation of a truly healthy life, the necessary fuel that allows genuine love to shine brightly for others. The wise master stayed for 2 more days, helping Arif regain his physical strength and teaching him simple daily meditation breathing techniques. When the old monk finally left the peaceful village, Arif felt like a completely new person, reborn with a clear, healthy purpose. The very next morning, instead of running out to find chores, Arif decided to stay home and finally fix his leaking roof. He spent the whole afternoon sweeping dusty floors, repairing broken windows, and bringing fresh, colorful wildflowers into his bright, clean living room. For his evening meal, he cooked a delicious, nourishing stew just for himself, slowly enjoying every single warm bite with deep gratitude. When a neighbor knocked on his door asking for immediate help with a broken cart, Arif smiled kindly, but shook his head. "I am currently resting and taking care of my home tonight, but I will gladly help you tomorrow morning after my breakfast." The neighbor was quite surprised by this unexpected answer, but nodded respectfully and left Arif to enjoy his peaceful, quiet evening alone. Arif sat by his warm fireplace, sipping hot tea and reading a good book, feeling a profound sense of inner peace blossoming. As the weeks passed, the villagers noticed a remarkable change in the man they used to call the heart of the village. He still helped them with difficult tasks, but he no longer rushed blindly into every single problem at the expense of himself. He learned the beautiful power of saying no when his body felt tired, choosing instead to rest under the shade of trees. He started planting a magnificent garden full of vibrant roses and bright sunflowers around his previously neglected, sad little wooden house today. Every single evening, he would sit on his freshly painted porch, simply watching the glorious golden sunset paint the beautiful evening sky. His face glowed with a genuine, healthy happiness that was far more radiant than the exhausted smile he used to wear constantly. Seeing his beautiful transformation, the villagers slowly began to realize the absolute importance of taking proper care of their own personal health. They stopped demanding so much from each other and started spending more quality time resting and nurturing their own tired, hard-working bodies. And the village became even more peaceful and harmonious, filled with people who truly understood the delicate balance between giving and receiving gracefully. His garden became a beautiful symbol of wisdom, a colorful reminder that everything needs proper care and attention to bloom beautifully today. He often invited his neighbors over to share sweet tea and enjoy the magnificent fragrance of the blooming flowers in his yard. During these lovely gatherings, he would share the profound wisdom of the old Zen Master with anyone who was willing to listen. He taught them that a truly full cup naturally overflows, bringing joy and nourishment to everyone around it without any forced effort. When you finally learn to love and respect yourself deeply, you automatically become a brighter, warmer light for the entire world outside. Your healthy boundaries are not walls to keep people away, but rather safe fences that protect your precious inner garden from destruction. In the story of Arif teaches us a vital lesson about the modern world, where endless productivity and constant sacrifice are often glorified. We are frequently taught that putting ourselves last is the ultimate sign of a noble, caring, and truly good human being today. However, running on empty only leads to bitter resentment, deep physical exhaustion, and a tragic loss of our own beautiful, unique spark. The world desperately needs the positive energy from your healthy, joyful soul, not the heavy burden of your silent pain and exhaustion. Taking time to rest, heal, and enjoy the simple pleasures of life is the greatest gift you can offer to your community. Only when you are strong, happy, and fully rested can you truly lift others up without breaking your own fragile, precious back. So remember the wise words of the Zen Master the next time you feel completely drained by the heavy demands of life. Pause for a moment, take a deep breath. You can ask yourself if you have watered your own spiritual garden today with love. Fill your own cup first, and then let your abundant kindness naturally overflow into the lives of those who truly need it. Embrace the beautiful journey of healing and watch how it magically transforms not only your life, but the world around you today. Thank you for joining us on this meaningful journey of personal discovery and inner peace. We hope this story brought valuable insights. Always remember to nurture your own brilliant light. Goodbye for now, and stay inspired with more timeless lessons from Golden Rule wisdom.